So this case with Anna Gristina presents some unique challenges and some unique opportunities for her defense attorney. Obviously, she holds a lot of cards. She holds a lot of names in whatever black book that she kept them in. And the Manhattan District Attorney knows that, and they know that there are plenty of powerful individuals out there who really want nothing to do with their names getting out to the public. And I think the Manhattan DA is uniquely sensitive to issues like that, so they may give her a little play in terms of what they're going to offer her in exchange for her keeping those, at least an unspoken understanding that she's going to keep those names out. But the challenge there, of course, is that there's been a 5-year investigation, 5 years of surveillance, including apparently of some underage sex work, and that's going to pose a problem for her because the evidence probably outweighs any advantage that she has in holding those cards. So she can pretend to go to trial, she can pretend that she's going to go to trial and these names are going to come out, and that may scare the prosecutors to a certain extent, but she's going to be a lot more scared with 4 kids at home of a 7-year jail sentence. After a 5-year investigation, the district attorney's office clearly knows who they want to talk to and who they want to arrest. Ms. Gristina was clearly the target of a grand jury investigation and an indictment that was put into place well before any news was released to the public. And clearly, any other co-conspirators who are on the run are also going to be subject to either grand jury subpoenas or potentially indictments themselves. So someone who is indicted in the United States, whether they're fleeing out of the country, as some of these co-conspirators might be, or in other states, face extradition to New York. Now, if it's international extradition, it's governed by certain international treaties, and that depends on the country in which these people have fled to. The United States is just a question of tracking the person down and going through a pretty standard extradition process that doesn't vary all that much from state to state. It's a case that you can pretend that you're going to go to trial, you can threaten to go to trial, and you can threaten to reveal all these names to the public, but it's not a case that ultimately is going to get tried. People may be wondering why the district attorney is prosecuting a case that clearly involves responsible, professional adult women who are engaged in consensual sexual acts for money. You know, things that consenting adults really shouldn't have any concern about, other than some general concern about the decline of morals, perhaps. But in New York, I think we've gotten past that issue. The district attorney in this case is clearly focusing more on a question of organized crime, because when there's that amount of cash that's being thrown around and that amount of money being thrown around by people who are clearly in a position of power, whether they're politicians or bankers or people who have the public trust, the concern for a prosecutor is who is influencing that person, who has dirt on that person, and who can use that business relationship to their advantage in a way that is going to potentially influence what happens to members of the public.